London Sea Life Aquarium. My name is Luke. We're just about to start doing seahorse talk and feed now, so if you want to stick around and hear some more cool stuff about seahorses and see them getting their dinner, then you're more than welcome to stay around. Just before I start, I just want to ask if you're taking any pictures at all, just make sure you turn the flash off the cameras. Obviously they don't really have eyelids or anything, so they can't really protect themselves from the bright light and it can really damage their eyes, so if you are taking pictures, just make sure you turn the flash off. Cool, so Gemma's behind there, she's going to start feeding them in a little bit. These are seahorses, they are really amazing animals. There's loads of cool myths and legends behind them. They've been a point of human interest for hundreds and hundreds of years. The ancient Greeks actually used to believe that the gods would ride around these giant animals that were half horse, half fish with wings. And ever since then, and in a lot of ancient Asian cultures as well, they've used them in potions and home remedies. And they sparked a lot of interest because they're very unique to look at. Believe it or not, they are fish, even though they don't really look like one. They're very bad swimmers though as well, as demonstrated right there by one of the seahorses. What they do when they swim is they anchor their prehensile tails to foliage, so like the seagrass here, and they use it to anchor themselves. And then with their fins, which aren't really that effective, they'll use to propel themselves in a certain direction. So they can swim, just not that well. They have a pectoral fin on each side of their face, and then they have a dorsal fin as well. They flutter up to 75 times a second, so very quick. They're not really that effective, so they're only really used for direction and a bit of thrust. They more than anything else really use their tails to move them in a certain direction. Most people know, one of the major facts that most people know about seahorses is that it is the males that give birth to the babies. It's not the females. So the female will kind of lay her eggs inside the male's pouch like a kangaroo. He will then become pregnant with them and have them grow inside his belly, and then he will give birth to them as well. You can actually usually tell the difference between the males and the females if you look at their belly. So the males tend to have a much rounder belly, and the females tend to have like a corner to the end of their belly. That tends to be how you can tell the difference. So it seems that they're very romantic animals because of this. They actually mate for life. So once they find a partner when they're young, they don't really find another one. If that partner dies, they then go into a state of mourning for the rest of their life, and they won't really find another partner. So it's very sad, it's very tragic. In actual fact, the reason why they only really have one mate is because the women aren't that picky. And they have a very small territory, so if any male gets within it, that's their mate for life. They're not really that choosy about their partners. Even so, they are very romantic. They dance with each other for up to 8 hours a day. In a form of flirtatious courtship, you'll see the partners twirl their tails around each other and move around in a sort of flirtatious, ritualistic dance. In here as well, you can see one of our cleaner shrimp as well over there at the back of the enclosure. Now we put certain cleaner shrimp in various tanks here in the aquarium to do what they say. They help us clean the tanks. They eat all the bits of dirt and algae and debris that fall off the animals and grow and land on surfaces. So we put them here in different tanks to help us in a very small way keep the tanks maintained, and they're really useful because of it. We're going to